There's a new trend going on right now that's blowing up faster than the Harlem Shake. It's called getting blocked by Logan Paul on Twitter because you mentioned CryptoZoo. And you don't have to be a high caliber, top tier athlete in order to participate in this new fun sport. All you've got to do is just mention CryptoZoo and Logan Paul will come out of the shadows in order to block you because that word is his kryptonite. That word is like in all of the Conjuring movies when you say the demon's name and it's like, oh no, retreating back to hell. That's CryptoZoo to Logan Paul. It's his boogeyman. So he's blocking everyone that mentions it. I'm sure all of you remember CryptoZoo because it is still to this day, I believe, the biggest YouTuber-led scam. Coffeezilla exposed all of it over 6 months ago. Logan Paul initially tried to play tough guy, get a little bit of hardball going here, gritting his teeth and saying, Coffeezilla's a bad man and I'm coming for you legally with a smackdown. But then quickly gave up on that whole facade and just said, like, actually, thank you so much, Coffeezilla, for opening my eyes. I was such a goofy little goober. I'm going to issue refunds to everyone that was affected by this that doesn't want to wait for us to finish the project. The project was supposed to be this absolute dog shit game that was a horrible idea from the start. But a lot of people bought into it because of Logan Paul's reputation. But he had promised $1.8 million at least in refunds to these victims. And it's been 6 months, and he hasn't done any of what he promised. He hasn't given anyone any of their money back. It's been complete radio silence with people begging for updates on when the refunds are coming. But unfortunately, Logan Paul's lips are sealed tighter than my ass after drinking a chocolate milk. And a lot of people have been taking notice of this recently because he had a huge PR win with people like, Logan Paul's at least owning up to his mistakes and trying to make it right with this whole CryptoZoo thing. And he's never followed through on it. So a lot of people are wondering, well, what the fuck is happening here? Did he ever plan on paying anyone back? Is he ever paying anyone back? This all seems like a bunch of baloney now. So a lot of people have been calling him out for it, which has led to this whole trend of people getting blocked by Logan Paul for just even daring to utter the words CryptoZoo. And Coffeezilla made a follow-up video last night on it. Coffeezilla had even promised that he'd follow up in 6 months after his whole expose on the massive scam that Logan Paul was running. Unlike Logan Paul, Coffeezilla keeps his promises. That doomsday counter hit 0 and this video dropped. In the video, Coffeezilla shows that he has been actively talking at Logan Paul, trying to get, information on when the refunds are coming. So he'd show text messages where Coffeezilla reached out to Logan a month after his promise of the $1.8 million to victims, just kind of asking for an update or what his plan was. He got no response. He then followed up in the next month, 2 months now. Since then, still no response from Logan. Every time he'd try to follow up with Logan to try and get information on this refund, he was met with just crickets. Until eventually someone from Logan Paul's legal team reached out to Coffeezilla to say like, yeah, we're still thinking about how to do that. I don't know who Logan Paul hires or how he's so good at finding incompetence. Like, he hired literal fucking criminals to run his CryptoZoo scam with him, and now he's hiring people that are criminally stupid. How could these lawyers reach out and say that they still don't know how to refund? Logan Paul in January had somewhat of a semblance of a plan, with committing $1.8 million to victims, as well as the other protocol for like burning the base CryptoZoo, whatever, all that dog shit. And now we're 6 months into the future here, and you're telling me this whole team can't bash their heads together, have their neurons fire, and come up with some kind of solution to giving people their money back for this fucking scam? That's baffling. Again, either they're criminally stupid, or this is all just trying to stall, or there's not any intention at all here in paying people back. Personally, I feel Logan Paul never planned on giving people their money back, but like everyone else, I was at least willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that it was coming at some point. But 6 months is unacceptable. That time frame, that timeline, is not by any means sensible. They still don't even have a plan in place that they're communicating with the community. They don't have any idea on how they're going to give this $1.8 million back to the community. So they're still at literally step 1 after 6 months here, post Logan Paul's public promise of refunds. I really think Coffeezilla's final statement in this video sums it up best.
This isn't worth your time. Getting publicly flogged like this every 6 months? What, are we going to be doing this in a year? No. Okay? It's not worth your time. It's barely worth my time. Just please pay the people back what you owe. Give them a real timeline, a real plan, and then we can all go back to pretending you've changed.
That's 100% right on the nose right there. He pinned the tail on the donkey. pretending that Logan Paul's changed. The ultimate scam, even bigger than CryptoZoo. Now, since the entire blow up of the CryptoZoo scam, Logan Paul's image has been largely positive because he publicly ate shit, said that he was going to pay people back, even though he had never did, still hasn't. But people gave him the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, look, he's trying to change and move on from this and grow from it. And he's a superstar in the WWE. He is absolutely loved in the sport. And Prime is such a wild success. So most people have a very positive impression of Logan Paul, so much so that he's developed his own little cult of brainwashed zombies who now are fighting against people like Coffeezilla and others calling him out for CryptoZoo. The argument they make, and it's not really an argument, it's actual just drivel, they're actually just vomiting nonsense, but what they say is that anyone that's still talking about CryptoZoo is just clout chasing off Logan Paul and they're just dragging it out and milking it, which is such a wild take. Logan Paul ran what is basically a real-world RuneScape scam, like armor trimming, giving him money for nothing. And then him laughing at you for it. Him and all of his buddies laughing at you for it, basically. And his fans are just saying, move on, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. To say that to victims that lost so much money on Logan Paul's scam is just disgusting. Excusing blatant crimes just because you like his drink or you like him in the WWE, it's just so stupid. I understand a lot of people that are saying those things, like, in defense of Logan Paul, even though it's not really a defense, just saying, like, yeah, he scammed you, get over it, and spitting on them. Not really a defense, but I know a lot of the people saying just to, let it go are young. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be shamed for this absolute brain-dead take. It's so stupid. Even kids should be able to recognize that someone shouldn't be able to get away with scamming people like that. So I just want to point out that ridiculous state of affairs where so many people are just completely okay with Logan Paul being the face of the biggest YouTuber-led scam of all time just because they really like him in the WWE or like Prime. He should still be held accountable. He has not fulfilled his end of his promise. He has not refunded the victims. He has done nothing for any of them, and he's just blocking anyone that brings it up. So, it is totally justifiable to keep calling it out and trying to get him to actually follow through on what he said he was going to do. But I still don't think he ever planned on paying anybody back. I really don't. I think what he was really hoping for was that it'd just be brushed under the rug over time. People would stop caring about it because on the internet, drama is usually just kind of flavor of the week shit. So the whole CryptoZoo scam was a big talking point for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. And he was just hoping like if he could just have a PR win by, saying how he's changed and he's going to give people their money back for this, then people would consider that good enough and just forget in the future. But luckily the chess master here blundered because this was such a massive scam that people didn't forget. There are so many victims that still haven't got their money back. It's very easy to find everyone affected by it. Thus, a lot of people have kept their eyes on it. When is Logan Paul paying people back? Has Logan Paul paid people back yet? No. Well, is he planning to? No. Okay. What's going on here? So people have stayed on top of this story for the last 6 months because they want it to have a happy ending. Most people want the victims here to get their money back, and they want Logan Paul to follow through on his promise, but he's not right now. So, I wanted to talk about this just a little bit. Coffeezilla made a great video on it that I highly recommend checking out if you want to see exactly where things have been for the last 6 months in this story. But overall, the spoiler alert is Logan Paul has still not refunded anyone, and that is horrible. That is absolutely horrible. You can't just keep blocking people on Twitter forever. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.